Welcome back to KARE 11 News Now. I'm Chris Harapsky. Question for you. Are you a fan of your boss? How about the boss? Bruce Springsteen, the boss, set to release more than 80 new songs this summer. The Tracks 2, The Lost Albums collection includes 7 full-length albums with songs that have never been heard by the general public. Springsteen says close friends have heard these songs over the years, but he says these songs were written over the course of his decades-long career and were finished during the pandemic. That collection drops on June 27th. Work is underway right now to put hometown hero Joe Mauer in bronze. Kent Erdahl introduces us to the man immortalizing Mauer and gives us a sneak peek at his progress.
The statues outside Target Field have a sort of gravitational pull on Twins fans each season.
He's rounding that second base, man. He knew it was game over.
With stars of each generation immortalized in their signature moments.
Harmon with his home run, he knew it was like to hit it. His hands were important.
And the man who helped give those players their shine is now getting ready to unveil the next attraction.
They're going to love the pads, the glove, the ball.
Hall of Fame catcher.
There's the sideburns.
Joe Mauer.
That's about what they are. He's got a little bit of gray hair now.
Bill Mack would certainly know the legendary Minnesota artist didn't just have old Twins photos to pore over.
I took so many shots all the way around.
Yes, Joe himself paid a visit to strike the perfect pose.
I think it's a runner between second and third, his eyes, his body, but he did that right here for us.
Bill gave us a rare preview of his sculpture, and though we can't show it all, you can see it's a feast for the eyes.
Catchers just got more gear. It's sort of fun to do it. Pain in the ass a little bit, but all that detail, but in the end, it's what makes it, I think, pretty nice, a little bit better.
And this little clay maquette isn't even the half of it.
So this is where it happens?
Yeah, this would be all the big sculptures.
This is where each of his larger-than-life twin statues took shape before they were cast in bronze.
I did Harmon, Carew, and Puckett all at the same time. Now, talk about overwhelming.
And because sculpting such a big lineup required a ladder, it also overwhelmed his body over the years.
7 ankle surgeries during those sculptures.
Which now keeps him more grounded.
Recently, we have decided to cut them up, and then I can take a part home. You can see up here, those are all parts of the sculptures that take Kirby's head off.
And despite how it looks,
and he's got his mouth open.
It helped him stay off the injured list.
That was a good one.
This time.
When they said it's Joe Mauer and he's going to be a catcher, it's only going to be that high. It's not going to kill me.
It's not going to intimidate him either. From Arthur Ashe to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill's work is already featured in many halls of fame and on college hockey's biggest award. And if you didn't know, he says that's the point.
It really isn't about me at all. I'm just a tool, and that's a person. And I'm trying to replicate what I see. If I went and told somebody I did it, they wouldn't even care. And that's the way it should be. I mean, it's about the player and the tribute to that player.
Which brings us back to Joe.
I thought he'd be difficult, but he was easy. Him being here and still looking like Joe, and his wife, so helpful. I had the clay of the life-size head, and when he saw it, just lit up. I nailed him, trust me on that one. He said it, she said it, I felt it.
And now he simply hopes the fans feel it too.
They should really enjoy it and get pictures taken with it. I want to do a good job for the Twins.
In Minneapolis, Kent Erdahl.
I'm lucky I can do it.
KARE 11 News.
Maternal death rates in the United States continue to be one of the worst of any high-income nation. As policymakers and healthcare providers seek ways to address the country's maternal mortality crisis, one potential tool to improving birth outcomes are doulas, which research has shown can have a positive effect on the health of the mother and the child. Michael Yoshida reports on how these trained, non-medical caregivers could help improve birth outcomes across the nation.
I just want you to start taking big, deep breaths.
Mom of 2, Caitlin Wozniak,
disappear just like poof,
is known as the Fit Doula.
The role of a doula is to enhance the experience for everyone. Somebody who is there and holds space and allows you to feel not alone.
Doulas are trained in childbirth, but they aren't medical, so they don't replace your OB/GYN or midwife. Providing physical, emotional, and educational support throughout and after a pregnancy, doulas can play a valuable role in a birth team. That can include creating a birth plan, attending appointments, breath work during labor, and more.
One person who sees the emotional challenges and understands your personality and communication styles and how to deliver information to someone in an appropriate way in an already challenging and stressful environment is really paramount.
Lily Scott worked with Caitlin during her hospital and home births.
Couldn't always advocate for myself, and so she was able to know my birth plan and know what was really important to me and keep a watch for me.
Research shows this type of support can lead to shorter labors, decreased C-section rates, improved birth satisfaction, and mental health. That's why some say doula care could be a key tool to help address the maternal health crisis in the United States. In 2022, compared to other high-income countries analyzed, the U.S. maternal death rate was more than double, sometimes even triple, according to a Commonwealth Fund report published last year. For Black women in the U.S., the rate was even higher.
The families that we serve are moderate to high risk when it comes to health and social factors.
D.C.-based nonprofit Mama Toto Village works to improve pregnancy outcomes for Black women. That includes offering doula care.
Y'all the first babies of the new year. You like, oh my God.
Something Tiara Foster and Cabiness Braxton relied on.
Ill being a first-time parent is a lot, so like any questions that you could think of.
Calling every day, texting every day. You okay? How you feel?
But data shows cost can often be a barrier to accessing this support. Advocates say Medicaid, which covers about 40% of births in the U.S., could help. In recent years, a number of states have started offering Medicaid reimbursements for doula care. Yay! One step towards improving outcomes for all.
We need the whole ecosystem. We need midwives, we need doulas, we need OBs.
Being rallied around by other women and moms is a key player in improving birth outcomes.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.